Hello and welcome to this review of the Mini Countryman SE. It is I, Richard, to take you through everything you need to know about this car today. I've driven the Mini Cooper E, which is the bottom of the range electric Mini for 2024. This is the top of the range electric Mini for 2024. The Mini Countryman SE with all of the extra trimming. So this is the sport version with the level 3 trim. I think it's a really beautifully styled car. Really impressed by that. It should be a very fun car to drive. It's 5.5 second 0 to 60. It's got a lot of power. It's got things like power boost for 10 seconds at a time. And I've heard very, very good things just about the handling and the responsiveness of the car. But I also want to see whether it would make a good all-round family car and whether you can just drive it in a sort of more sedate and serene manner.
And we are deep in the Cotswolds countryside today, and it does feel very serene. The Mini Countryman SE is the sport version of the Countryman, with a range of around 250 miles and a 0 to 60 time of 5.6 seconds. The styling is sharp and modern, with nods to British racing heritage throughout the interior and exterior of the vehicle. I'm a big fan of the almost hexagonal headlights, which are a definite improvement on the more bulbous design of the previous gen. And of course, we have the Union flag taillights that Mini has become famous for. Overall, I think they've done a great job of making the Countryman feel modern, and it no longer looks just like a slightly bigger Cooper. I'll talk more about the interior later, but it feels well thought out and I have to say quite luxurious. And in the back, there's plenty of space for 3 people, with decent legroom and decent headroom. There's cubby holes and storage dotted around the place, and the 450 litres of storage space in the boot is enough to fit a large, immature man. The cockpit features a sporty steering wheel with active cruise control, a heads-up display, a large circular infotainment touchscreen, and a small array of driving control dials. The boost button is severely addictive, boosting the power to a max output of 313 horsepower for 10 seconds, which you will see scare the living daylights out of me a little later.
Okay, so first off, thoughts on the drive. This is quite a big car. Like when you're inside it, it feels very small, which is down to how nimble and agile it is in terms of the way it drives. But it's not actually a small car, which means it's really spacious. So I think you're getting the best of both. Just did an Alan Partridge.
There's got to be the worth of both worlds.
You're getting the best of both worlds in that it feels like a small car to drive, but it has all of the benefits of a bigger car as well. Then I'll just do a little bit on the modes. And the green mode is actually a driving mode, so this is the eco mode. What I really like about this is if you're driving efficiently, it's nice and green, there's a little hummingbird, it's happy. Put your foot down, turns into a panther for a second and gets upset. But what it does is it constantly gathers how much range you've made from actually driving not like a knobhead, and apparently I've claimed 3 miles of range back through my efficient driving, which makes me feel pretty good about myself. And then the next experience up is Core, and the Core is just like, you know, your middle of the road, your Elton John mode, okay? Nothing wrong with Elton John, love Elton John. But as driving modes go, it's quite nice. Just, you know, everything kind of responds as it should do. Things that feel maybe a tiny bit sluggish in the efficiency mode feel a bit more responsive in this one. And then finally, you've got go-kart mode, which I think should be called full send mode. And this is where the car gets very responsive and you get much more kind of like linear, I think that's the right word, curve on like the steering input and things like that. So responsiveness of the steering goes up, feels a lot more like driving a go-kart.
A few moments later.
Okay, right, full send. Oh, don't pull out please, thank you. Whoa, okay, it's really responsive. Okay, yeah, that's other than the fact it sounds like a TIE fighter or something, that's a lot of fun.
Maybe too much fun. Time to calm down with a closer look at the interior.
Right then, let's have a look at the interior because as my mum always reassured me, it's what's on the inside that counts. So this car is pretty stacked. It's a £52,000 car, the top of the range Mini Countryman SE sport version with the level 3 trim. So this is as bougie as it gets from Mini in the electric range at the moment. The first thing I notice is these beautiful bucket racing seats. Really nice, let's face it, pleather material, but then just a nice headrest. They're really comfortable. A lot of customization you can do, and if you're one of those people that's really finicky about their seat position, you'll be able to get it just right, and then you'll be able to save that setting and make sure that you can get back in that setting whenever you want to. The other problem is if you're really like picky about your seating position and you've got loads of options like you do on this, it can be almost impossible to find what feels right because there's always something to play around with. That's me, if you can't tell, but I have to say they're really, really comfortable seats. There's a little charging tray just in here for your phone, which I really like. This knitted, sustainable dashboard is a really nice touch. Got these really nice analog little knobs, the only word for them, knobs really, to just kind of like let the aircon in and out, you know, block it off or let it through. And then if you come in here, Meg, really, really nice circular infotainment system, like on the Mini Cooper E, which I've also reviewed. This is the iOS 9, I think, or 8, either one of those two things. It's the latest BMW operating system. I don't know why I'm saying iOS because that's Apple. It's just OS, so OS 9, and it's a really, really good infotainment system. So there's loads you can do on here. The navigation, when you're driving, this is amazing. It's really big, you know, it's really easily visible. Almost like too much you can do with aircon. But the aircon in here is it's like being in the Arctic Circle, so that's good on a day like today. And then you've obviously got your DAB radio, tons of different functions, and you've also got the personal assistant, Spike. So if I say, "Hey Mini," there he is. Spike comes up and he can help you. Just while I'm doing this, a tractor is doing some work next to us. This is the Mini Countryman. We're in the countryside, okay guys? It's gonna get a little bit loud. Feel like he is doing it on purpose now, but that's fine. End take.
Okay, time to get away from tractors and get back on the road, I think.
In terms of this being a driver's car, it ticks a lot of the right boxes. Really, really nice, kind of smooth, responsive handling on the road. Despite the fact that it's quite high, it's quite tall, it's got quite a low center of gravity as well. So good headroom in the car, but when you're actually driving, as I was saying, it feels very much like a Mini, like it feels pretty glued to the ground. There's a little bit of body roll, but really not much at all. It is an SUV, really, a compact SUV, so you expect a little bit. So drivability, great. All of the kind of like parking sensors, parking assist, all of that stuff makes it really easy in the city as well. So getting in and out of tight spots is quite easy in this thing. It's also got remote climate control. There's loads you can do from the app. So you can either get the car cold or warm before you get in. All the things that you would really expect from a £52,000 car. The main thing I want to ask and answer today is, what's this like as a family car? Because if you don't have a family, you'll probably end up buying the Cooper Sport because it's smaller. You know, really you only need the Countryman if you've got 3 or 4 people to get into the car, so you know, you, your partner and 1 or 2 little ones and luggage. If not, you might as well go for the Cooper. There's plenty of luggage space in the back. Me as a 6-foot man, I managed to get in there quite comfortably. Could have had quite a nice nap actually when I was in there, and you can fold the back seats down as well, get even more storage space if you need to. It's actually very, very reasonable storage in here considering how compact it feels as a car.
And while space and storage is great for the family, so is entertainment. There's an impressive array of video options to keep the kids occupied whilst you run into the shops. Maybe just don't show them that. There's also an array of games you can play by using your phones as controllers, and the car can also act as a mobile video studio.
So we could record a video for like, who are we going to visit? Ailish. Hey Ailish, we're on the way, can't wait to see you. And then what you can do is you can stop that video and then it's in your gallery. So we'll have a look at that. That was actually playing, that's amazing. And then you can scan a QR code and send that to the person that you were making that video for. Which I think is like, that will, I mean, it keeps me entertained, and I'm a massive child, so I think it will keep children entertained as well. So I'm quite impressed by that. Absolutely like nothing to do with driving really, or cars whatsoever, but it's just quite fun, and that's what Mini should be, right? The Mini personal assistant is really cool, and I think it's something that kids will absolutely love. So I just say, hey Mini, and here he is. Spike comes up, he's incredibly cute, and I can ask him to, it's getting a bit hot, so hey Mini, turn the air conditioning on please.
Climate system activated.
Climate system activated. So how about, hey Mini, take me to Hill Barn. He's thinking. There we go. That is a different hill barn to the one that's quite close to here and that I wanted, but we'll let that slide. The main point I was trying to make is that Spike, the little character there, is quite cute. Oh, now I've got a camera view on here. Are you getting this? That's amazing. I didn't know how I turned that on, but the navigation system has a camera, so I don't need to look here. I can look there. Maybe it's so the kids can see, but they can see here as well. I don't know, I'm confused.
While I'm getting unconfused, I want to tell you about the multiple exterior and interior cameras on the Mini, which can be configured to save a recording of 20 seconds leading up to a crash and the 20 seconds after a crash. But it's not just for crashes.
The interior camera function is just generally quite useful because you can set that up to trigger and start recording if anyone ever breaks into the car, so you'll get a recording of that. So we're all talking things a bit like Sentry mode. I think that sort of technology is now coming to cars like Mini, Audi, you know, all of those brands that are now doing great electric cars, and that's great to see. The heads-up display is good. I think you need to be a bit shorter to see it properly in the daytime. I can't see anything above like here, so I can roughly see what speed I'm doing, but unfortunately I can't see the sat-nav settings on that hood. There might be a way to change that, but I haven't been able to work it out quickly and easily. But look, overall, this car is a lot of money. £52,000 is going to be out of reach for a lot of people, but there's not much I'd change about the drive and the handling. I think they've done a really good job, and I actually prefer the drive of this to something like the Mustang Mach-E. The fact that I think it's a great car for the city and for the countryside is quite useful as well. The four-wheel drive has been great whilst we've been driving around the country today. So I don't really have too many criticisms of this car. The thing that confused me earlier when I was looking at the navigation and there was a recording of the front of the car and I wasn't sure whether I was supposed to look down here or up there. Well, actually what that does is it uses AR to overlay where it shows you exactly where you should be turning. So you don't get that thing of like, oh, in 250 yards, turn right. It's like, no, look there. It has a label above the turning and it says that's where you want to turn right. And the number of times that I've managed to like get turnings wrong because of that sort of thing, that's going to save a lot of hassle. So that's just like a really impressive feature. Okay, so this is the feature that I was talking about. So it says do not solely rely on camera view, which I wouldn't, because that would be like playing a video game where you're actually controlling a car. Doesn't sound like a good idea. So it's telling me to go this way quite soon, and this arrow here will then start to show me which way I should be going. We're doing this in super slow motion because this is quite a busy junction by the looks of things. So here we go, 100 feet, 50 feet. That guy's really messed up that turning. Come on. And yeah, so it wants me to go here and almost do double back on myself. So we've done that. Boom. Wait, was that the wrong road? I actually took the wrong road. Still took the wrong road. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Okay, while I recover from that mishap, it's time to conclude my feelings on this car, which, you'll hear, has had to work hard to win me over.
I have always hated the Countryman. Just like the very concept of it, like an SUV that's a Mini, like it's just never felt quite right to me. No offense to anyone who has one, but this has just completely changed my mind about this form factor, because to drive 100% it feels like a Mini Cooper, but you're getting all the benefits of an SUV. And I have to say, it's so much better looking than almost any SUV I can think of that's out there at the moment. So for me, like if I'm still clinging on to my fading youth and I want a little pocket rocket hatchback, but my partner wants something a bit more practical, this is a fantastic option, I have to say. And with close to 300 miles of range, it can actually get you from, you know, from A to B. Like, you could go on a holiday with this. If you're going super far, you might need to charge somewhere on the way, but you can get an 80% charge in this car in just less than half an hour. This is ticking a lot of boxes for me. It's hard to say on a first drive, so I'd really like to spend a few days with it, do a family shop for my non-existent family, you know, all of those things just to put it through its paces, but it kind of feels like this would be something I would choose, and I don't think I've ever said that about an SUV before, so that's quite a big step for me. So I'm in the relief of some much needed shade right now. I just want to say thank you if you've made it this far in the video for watching. Please like and comment. I'll answer any questions you want about this car. But also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you've got this far, then please do subscribe. I'm just gonna like eat what's in this hamper now that we've been given by Mini and be on my merry way. I think I said a lot about this car really in this video already, but I'm genuinely impressed by it. Maybe I should be for the price point, but I wasn't expecting to come here today and fall in love this much with this car. I think that's pretty much it from me. I'm just gonna see what's in this hamper and... Meg, have you eaten everything in the hamper?